the roast going here. Here with Pete Berres. I'm finding it funny sometimes. Pete, I know you because I live here in Johnson Creek, and obviously your boys went to Johnson Creek and they met our son. That's how our families kind of met. But we're in this beautiful place that you work at and own. Tell us about kind of the Berres Brothers Coffee story and where we are today.
Sure. Well, we are on 202 Air Park Drive in Watertown. This is the headquarters of Berres Brotheres Coffee Roasters in Watertown. We're currently standing in our factory, and right here is our Rosie roaster. She has been our roaster since 1999, 2000. Wow. So this is our factory, and this is our cafe.
Great.
So
1999. So she's moved. So she wasn't here because you guys started
Correct.
somewhere else, right?
Yes, we started on the corner of First and Western Avenue in Watertown.
Sure.
And we had a real small building, and I had a small roaster from what we started on compared to this. So we bought this in 1999. 5 years later, we finished this building and moved in here.
Okay.
So
Pete, you're a local company, and that's awesome, right? Like we love having these great communities that we can support and be a part of. You guys are here. Where can people get the coffee, though? Because obviously not everyone comes to Watertown, Wisconsin.
Sure.
Whether they should or not,
right.
they don't always come here. Where can they get it?
Okay. Well, we have our coffee bean hall inside our cafe. That's open every day.
Sure.
And but we are in a very large amount of grocery stores in Wisconsin. Okay. So we're in the Woodman's, Piggly Wiggly chains, Sendik's, just about every grocery store. Once in a while, you'll see it in convenience stores. I can't give you that list because that's a distributor that does that. But we also sell coffee online.
Oh, okay.
So that way it gets shipped all over the United States.
Sure. Yeah.
So,
and there's so many coffee options out there, whether it's coffee shops or coffees to buy. What makes your guys' stuff unique or different besides your name, which is great, but what makes it special or different?
Well, a lot of it starts with this roaster here.
Okay.
This is an air-based roaster, and the beans actually float in air. So the beans we can't really achieve a very dark, overly burnt coffee. So all our coffees sort of bake all the way through, so it's a real smooth flavor.
Okay.
And we also offer a lot of flavors, which is not an easy task, not a fun task, but it is a big part of our business because we've been doing it for so long, and it's always fun to bring out new varieties.
Yeah.
So,
and all that variety is awesome. I think the community speaks that and loves seeing that. We see you and your family and your name all over the Ader area. Why is that such an important part of your business, of not only being involved in the community, but giving back to the community? Not everybody does that.
No.
Some people can, some people can't, but you guys have prioritized that.
Yeah.
Tell a little about that story.
Well, we sort of feel that we're not really in the coffee business.
Okay.
We're sort of in the social people business is what it is, because, you know, we see people on a daily basis walking in our door, or when our attendants are out in the grocery stores, we'll talk to the customers there. It's a product that gets used every single day. It's not like it's once a month and then you purchase every other month. It's a big part of people's lives. Yeah. And I think that we were trying to build the personality of the product, and even down to the individual flavors. So our packaging sort of tries to create a personality for all that. It's just a very big thing to be connected with the community, because we're easily accessible to the community to share and do business with us.
Yeah. I think what you bring up there is really important. People want to do business with people they know, like, and trust, to be honest. And whether that's coffees or houses or buying a car, they want to work with someone they know and have met outside of a business setting. And I think that's probably a big part of it too. Because your boys all went to school in the area, right?
Yep.
What would you say is the best part about this community that has made you guys not only stay here, but continue to thrive here?
Well, personally, what I like is that geography-wise, Watertown is not a very big city to get around in. Okay. My boys went to school in Johnson Creek. I graduated from Johnson Creek. Again, it's a smaller town. I grew up in between this community and Johnson Creek, so I'm not a big city guy.
Yeah.
So we pattern everything that we do around being a small Midwestern coffee company.
Sure.
And that's not traditionally what coffee roasters are.
Sure.
So we take a lot of pride in being a Midwestern small town coffee place. And Did I answer that question or not?
Yeah, I think you did. It's embracing who you are, right?
Yep.
So you could pretend to be something else, but if you're who you are,
Yep.
when you're in business, out of business, talking to someone, people
Correct.
thrive and want to be towards
Correct.
that, right?
Correct.
I think something I've noticed in the last few years is everyone wants to be an entrepreneur, whether
Right.
it's in real estate or in a business or something like that. You've been doing it a while,
Yeah.
and pretty well, being
Yeah.
this big building we're in, and I know the expansion you guys have done over the last few years out here.
Yeah.
If you had advice to someone getting into any kind of entrepreneurship, any advice for them on something they should focus on, or maybe something that you went through that you're like, well, learn from my mistake?
I would say what we did was we always did. We never had this.
Sure.
You don't start at this level, and you wouldn't be able to anyway. So we tried to create a unique product. We tried to, when we started out, to make it easily accessible to the customers, very fair priced, and build some traction, and do the events, do the demos, get out there. There's an awful lot of small food companies. We're a small specialty food company, and there is a lot of those around Wisconsin popping up all the time.
Sure.
And it's very neat to see. It's a very fun group for me to watch and interact with.
Yeah.
And they all follow the same type of path that I did, that our industry allowed us to do. And whether it's a beer company, winery, distillery, specialty nut shop, chocolate shop, everything. There's so much in common, and it's such a fun group to, So I think people figure it out. There's ways that you can do things out of your home now. They've made some of that a little bit more lenient, but I think you need to start with a small overhead.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah,
absolutely.
I think one thing you mentioned there is that connection to other small businesses. You guys don't just have your own products in this building. You partner with other local groups and other local businesses. Can you talk a little about some of the products you guys offer here that's not coffee?
Sure. Well, we actually partnered with a friend of mine, has a local farm here, Teats Popcorn. We distribute their popcorn, and we sell it here and distribute it in the grocery stores. We're starting to pick up a few more items that we are going to distribute to grocery stores as well as sell here. Right now we have 2 syrup companies from northern Wisconsin, and we have we're hoping to get a granola company coming on, and that one looks really exciting. We've had some jam companies, we've had honey companies that we're looking at and talking to. So again, they're all small companies that don't have the distribution. And I didn't really realize it, but one of the biggest assets we have is the fact that our drivers drive from here all across Wisconsin to deliver to the grocery stores. So if we can help another company out, that's going to help us out. So it's just all works hand in hand.
That's awesome. So if someone can't get to the cafe here and they're not in that area where they know where grocery store is, how can they get it online again, you said?
www.berresbrothers.com.
Okay.
And you'll get to our website. If you sign up for regular emails, we're pretty much on a weekly basis sending out special offers, whether it's free shipping or flash sales of 15 or 20% off. We do offer $6 flat rate shipping, but if you order a certain amount, that's free. So we try and make that as easy for customers to order as we can, and it is really easy. The girls do a great job here of getting the coffee out quickly. As you can see, our warehouse isn't very big. We don't store a lot of coffee for very long. So, but the website is a great place as well as your local grocery store.
That's awesome. So it's fresh, it's community-based, it's here. Why wouldn't people come here? So the next time you're in Watertown or in Johnson Creek or you're visiting, stop on by, see Pete, get some coffee. It's a great way to make a stop and a great way to spend your day. Another part of who we do business with is knowing who that person is. Now, I know you're a veteran and you own this business, but I don't think a lot of people know that part of the story. Tell us a little bit about kind of that history for you, but also how that intertwines with the coffee business for you.
Sure. I'm a 22-year Army veteran. I retired in 2010. I retired as a major. I received my commission in 1988 from the University of Wisconsin-La Crosse. And I was in the reserves from 1988 till 2010. I did take a nice little trip deployment over to Iraq. in 2008,
Okay.
2009. So that was sort of the ending of my career, was at my deployment.
Mm-hmm.
So I have a strong affiliation with veterans of all branches of the service, as well as our service support, in every city. So.
Sure. Yeah, and so you guys go beyond just being involved with that. You're actually involved in supporting veterans after service, right? Tell me a little about that product you guys offer.
Sure, we help out a lot of different services, whether they're having an event here.
Mm-hmm.
But one thing that we've reached out to Legion, Wisconsin.
Okay.
I'm a Legion member myself, and we reached out to Legion, Wisconsin, and we came up with their help, a coffee that we make specifically. This one's called Vet Java.
Okay.
And we sell this in some stores on our website and in our store, and we donate quarterly back to Wisconsin Legion and Legion Wisconsin, and they do support a number of different programs, in the state. So it's a great organization.
Yeah, so people can support not only buying local, but they're supporting veterans too by coming here.
Absolutely.
That's great.
Yep.
Pete, I have one final question for you.
Yes.
Can I have a tour?
Absolutely. Let's go.
Perfect.
So, Jake, this here is how the coffee beans come in.
Okay.
They are a green color. I don't have any to show you, but they come in burlap bags. Here, looks like there's 10 bags on this pallet. So when they come in, these get stored on our racks until we're ready to use them. There's many, many different countries. And as you know, we have many, many different flavors that we utilize. Generally, we use one green bean from a certain country for our flavors. So there's always a standard base.
Mm-hmm.
But this is how they come in. From here, we will take them over to our coffee roaster.
Okay.
And this roasts one of those bags at a time.
Oh.
So we get 135 pounds in. We end up with 125 pounds of roasted coffee. Okay.
All right.
What's really unique about this is an air roaster. The beans will actually tumble in air. And because of that, we don't get any charred beans, nothing really dark, charcoal flavored, nothing like that. The beans bake all the way through. It's called an air roaster.
Okay.
As opposed to a traditional coffee roaster where they use a drum type roaster, like a clothes dryer, and the beans actually are tumbling inside the chamber.
Gotcha.
Once the coffees hit their proper temperature, which it can vary from a cold roast to after we've been roasting successive times, we will bring the coffee, release it out into this cooling tray. And there's a vacuum under here, and it's sucking all the air out. So that coffee's got to be cooled down as quickly as possible, or it will keep roasting even while it's in this chamber.
Sure.
So people always ask me about the flavored coffees.
Yeah.
When we have our flavored base coffee in here, what we'll do is we'll just release the coffees. We release them into a blue barrel over here.
Oh, wow.
Each barrel has their own flavor attached to it. And as the beans come in here, we will add liquid flavoring. And when this barrel is full, we put the lid on it. And then we will put it on the barrel rollers, and then we let them tumble.
Okay.
And that's how it spreads. It's a liquid flavoring that's put on after we roast.
Sure.
So
you got lots of flavors.
Oh, yeah.
The important question, obviously, everyone wants to know is, what's your favorite flavor?
My favorite flavor? My favorite flavor is actually not a flavored coffee, but I drink our French roast. It's called Dawn Patrol. I drink that every day. I do enjoy Doe Eyes when it comes out in the season. I do enjoy Highlander Grog, of course, but I'm more of a caramel fan overall. So, and we have like 3 different caramel everyday flavors, and then it seems like a lot of our seasonals always end up with caramel as well. So
awesome. How do you come up with a new flavor? It's always my thought.
That's a lot of fun. We work closely with the flavoring companies, and they'll tell us, what's a possibility of a hot, trendy flavor right now. And so they may come to the table with 12 different flavors we may want to try, and we will bring those in very small test amounts, and we will sample it here in-house. And then we will determine whether we really want to add that or not. And something new is always going to sell. It doesn't necessarily mean it's going to resell. So we like to try and make sure that it's pretty good. At times it gets hard to do that, but when you have a unique one and then you add a unique name to it, it seems to, you know. So we've been bringing in, we've been having flavor flights we started this year, and that was where these were brand new flights, or brand new flavors that were brought in. I think it was 3 per quarter or every 6 weeks, something like that. And these were flavors that were never in-house before, and when they're finished, we're probably not going to bring them back. So we're really using it as a sampling station for our customers to tell us yay or nay.
Sure, that makes sense. Well, if you ever need help with a taste tester, I'm your guy. I'm here. I'm available and willing.
You were at one of our tastings.
Yes, that was wonderful. It was right here in this space, actually.
It was right here. In fact, you walked from that corner. You had a cup of coffee and 3 coffee cakes stacked on. Yeah.
Well, I didn't want to waste it.
That's right.
It's important to not waste product.
Exactly. Absolutely.
Pete, thanks for the tour. Can we go see the storefront, actually?
Absolutely. It's just right in this doorway.
Awesome. We're in your storefront now. People are coming through the doors and they're like, look, I got to get coffee. Where do they go?
Well, this sign up here says this is the bean hall, the coffee bean hall. So all of our coffees are in this hallway here. So we're starting here. These are all our ground packages. This is all ground coffee. The whole bean are more than likely going to be in the bins.
Okay.
And then we also have some 2-pound bags, which have become quite popular in whole beans. And then we have different sections for our seasonals, which every season will bring out 4 brand new 10-ounce bags. Right now it's the fall flavor of pumpkin caramel, rack attack, and doe eyes. And I forget what the 4th one is. I apologize. And then we have to have a section for Highlander Grog, which is our #1 flavor by far. We sort of put that flavor on the map, and a lot of other companies now have Highlander Grog.
Yep.
But that is a caramel butterscotch and hazelnut flavor. Thankfully, it's our own recipe that nobody can copy it. Other companies try to, but they can't.
It's true. That's for sure. I've definitely tried other options, and I'm like, it's not the same.
It's not.
It doesn't count.
Nope.
So, awesome. This is a great space. I love this specific spot because I'm like, oh, I don't need to go any further. Everything's right here for me.
Correct.
So, awesome.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.